Good day, everyone. I would like to present before you my research proposal entitled Exploring Conceptualization Approaches of Mechanical Engineering Research Students. Research is an original inquiry carried out to learn and comprehend concepts in significant topic areas of specialization. It includes the development of ideas and information that will lead to new or significantly enhance scientific discoveries relevant to the societal demands. Because it establishes the framework for the entire investigation, research conceptualization is a critical step in the research process. The success of a research project depends on how well the proposal is conceptualized. In this study, research conceptualization refers to the entire process of developing a research proposal. Although there is no universally agreed upon definition for research conceptualization, authors like Baden-Horst identifies three genres in which it commonly appears: in the problem statements, research proposals, and introduction sections or chapters. According to Aurini et al., the process of conceptualization involves not only selecting a topic, but also constructing a justifiable and feasible research problem. Without a clear conceptualization, researchers run the risk of collecting irrelevant data, failing to address their study objectives, or arriving at incorrect conclusions. Therefore, this study establishes the process of research conceptualization of mechanical engineering in a Philippine university. Considerable research has been conducted on various aspects of research conceptualization that typically focus on the challenges encountered by the students. These challenges may include difficulty in selecting a topic, writing a research proposal, lack of research experience, insufficient knowledge of research methodology, inability to find modern, specialized, and relevant references, the lack of interest or understanding of the subject matter, time constraints, and lack of research guidance. Aside from that, previous research has been conducted to identify factors that may affect the process of research conceptualization, such as the researcher's motivations, personal and professional interests, goals, values, abilities, experiences, proficiency in information and communication technology, psychological, sociocultural, linguistic, and cognitive factors, as well as the influence of supervisors and problem-solving skills. However, limited research has been conducted investigating the processes that students undergo during research conceptualization. To date, the closest studies have focused on the problem identification phase of the research conceptualization. Also, despite the abundance of research on the students' experiences and outcomes in undergraduate engineering research, little is currently known about the actual processes that students undergo when conceptualizing the research. Specifically, there is a dearth of information regarding how mechanical engineering students identify research topics, craft problem statement, and propose appropriate methodologies for their research projects. To the best of the researcher's knowledge, there is no existing papers that investigate this area. For a considerable period, mechanical engineering has been an established field. However, recent transformation due to globalizations and the industrial economy have caused changes within the field. With Industry 4.0, for example, There is a need now for engineering professionals to construct and maintain modern enterprises, which also necessitates that students become more competent in both conventional mechanical engineering and information technology. As a result of this, the digitization of the value chain, the mechanical engineering sector will also undergo changes, and universities are thus preparing students for these new challenges and opportunities. Thus, research in engineering, including in mechanical engineering, is unique from other disciplines with much emphasis on applied research such as running experiments, advancing new technologies, and conducting case studies. Consequently, there will be a shift in the research in the field, which could impact how students approach research. This study aims to explore these unique processes that mechanical engineering students and perhaps researchers in general use to conceptualize research. Understanding these challenges as well as opportunities that these researchers face during research conceptualization can help in developing interventions to enhance their research experience. Therefore, this grounded theory study explores research conceptualization in the field of mechanical engineering. This research question would be answered in the context of the following conditions: that the process of research conceptualization is understood from the perspective of mechanical engineering students in the study, and these students are currently enrolled in mechanical engineering research course at the Philippine Higher Education. The research on research conceptualization in mechanical engineering will make a significant addition to the discipline by illuminating the procedure and difficulties associated with doing research in this area. This study will offer insightful information on how to enhance the research culture in the sector by highlighting the barriers and difficulties mechanical engineering students have when conceptualizing their research. This study will examine the process of research conceptualization in mechanical engineering. And in order to do that, the aim of the study will be to investigate this using a constructivist grounded theory approach. This methodology is appropriate for exploring research conceptualization and developing a theory based on these constructions. Sharmas established the constructivist grounded theory approach to provide a framework for collecting and analyzing qualitative data. Both Lincoln and Guba and Sharmas emphasize the importance of gathering diverse opinions and data types as well as prioritizing participants' voice. By utilizing the constructivist grounded theory, I will also be able to generate new insights from the data in collaboration with the participants. So this approach is appropriate since I myself is a researcher in mechanical engineering and also a research teacher. This study will take place at a Philippine higher education institution in the Philippines that aspires to become a leading Philippine university by guiding learners to become industry-preferred and life-ready professionals, fostering knowledge generation and creativity, accelerating community development, and adapting proactively to a rapidly changing world. The university's engineering program, including mechanical engineering, are highly regarded for producing more than 80 first placers and over 700 top-notchers in the various fields of engineering. The informants of this study will be undergraduate mechanical engineering students enrolled in the research subject and who have completed the research conceptualization phase, indicating that they are now implementing their project proposal. The selection of the participants will be based on two inclusion criteria. The first one being current enrollment in the research subject, and second, completion of the research conceptualization phase. Theoretical sampling will be the sampling strategy that will be employed in this study, allowing for the achievement of saturation to guide the sampling strategy. Initially, 9 students will be interviewed following the study of McNeil, Douglas, and et al., and the researcher will continue to collect data and intentionally seek out participants to obtain diverse perspectives. Data collection will conclude when theoretical saturation is reached and when similar ideas are presented in several interviews. And to validate data saturation, I will also be doing two additional interviews. For the instrument, a qualitative data collection approach will be utilized, wherein I will be conducting an in-depth face-to-face or online interviews using an interview schedule, which will also be shown later, which includes open-ended questions to guide interviews. Constructivist grounded theory guided the development of this interview schedule to include open guided questions related to this participants' perspective and experiences. The content validity of these questions was established by directly connecting it to the research question. For the data gathering, a pilot interview will be conducted to help practice the researcher's interview skills, to practice the questions and to gather feedback for improvement. And based on this feedback received during the interview, the researcher will review and revise the questions to make them clearer and more effective. I will also use purposive sampling within theoretical sampling approach to identify and select information-rich informants related to the phenomenon of interest. The data collection procedure will be as follows. First, seeking approval from the mechanical engineering department head to conduct the data gathering using a communication letter. Of course, that is after the approval by the research ethics of our university in CNU. Second, selecting informants who meet the inclusion criteria, contacting these informants via phone, email, or in person to explain the study and request their participation. And then I will obtain informed consent from each informant who agrees after explaining the purpose of the interview and how the data will be used. And then I will be conducting the interview with each participant according to their preferred method and schedule. I will be recording the interview with the informant's permission, which can either be audio or video recording. As I will also ask the informants to devote a significant amount of time, around 1 hour, to participate in the interview, I will be offering them some refreshments for their participation at the end of the interview. I will also explain that they may discontinue participation at any time and will still receive the refreshment. For the data analysis, of course, I will prepare the data first for the analysis. I will transcribe each of the individual interview recordings. The data analysis will be conducted concurrently with the data collection process following Sharma's constructivist grounded theory method, which involves an initial coding procedure and a focused coding procedure. The individual interview tapes will be transcribed as a first step in this methodology. The participants' spoken words will be translated into written text. In order to do this, even if it is exhaustive, to ensure that the data is in a format that can be evaluated, transcribing might still be time consuming, but still required. After the data will be transcribed, I will be starting the initial coding process. And in order to find themes, concepts, and patterns, I will be thoroughly reviewing this transcription. I will be creating a collection of codes that can be used to organize the data, which is the aim of the initial coding techniques. I will then proceed to the focus coding approach after the first coding process is finished. To do this, more in-depth data analysis will be performed in order to pinpoint the most important themes and ideas. I will be finding the important categories that are emerging from the data, which is the aim of the focus coding technique. I will be continuously honing my comprehension of the data during the analysis so that I can produce fresh insights. The constructivist grounded theory approach places a strong emphasis on maintaining an open mind to fresh ideas and viewpoints, as well as on letting the data drive the study. So I will be employing several techniques also to establish rigor of the study, including prolonged engagement, member checking, peer debriefing, providing a detailed description of the study context and characteristics of the informants to ensure transferability, an audit trail documenting the research process to establish dependability, an audit trail and transparency of the research process, including the role of the researcher and potential biases to establish confirmability. With regards to ethical consideration, an ethics review committee will review the research proposal before data gathering. As previously mentioned, consent forms will be distributed to the identified informants, explaining the purpose, the risks, the benefits, guidelines, and the rights as informants. In addition to safeguard data of the informants, all collected and encoded data will be stored in a password-protected computer. The consent form is attached in the appendix. So these are the references that I use in this presentation. So for the appendices, this Appendix A shows the permission letter to conduct the study. Appendix B is the cover letter for the respondents. Appendix C is the interview schedule. So I will be asking them two questions, but I will be asking probing questions, which will also surround in this interview questions, which will require me also to become a good listener during the interview. So the first question is, can you describe the process you went through during research conceptualization? And the second is, how did you go about identifying your research topic, problem, objectives, design, and methodology? And for the informed consent form, I am following the CNU consent form. So the full copy is found also in my proposal. So the full content of this uh, proposal presentation is found also in my proposal paper. So thank you so much for listening.